Friday, we traveled to Iowa and caught up with two other Republican presidential candidates. We begin with New Jersey Governor Christie and his thoughts on Donald Trump's plan to fix illegal immigration.
You know, in many ways, it's just too simplistic. You know, the idea of, building a wall, kicking everybody out, and ending birthright citizenship, all sounds, appealing in some respects to some folks. But I just think it's a very complicated problem, and it needs someone who understands how to do a complicated and nuanced solution to that problem. And, fact is, we can do this the right way, and we should do it the right way.
Is that the larger question about Mr. Trump's policies, that they're too simplistic?
Listen, I haven't listened to every one of his proposals that he's put out there, but I'll say this, I understand why the American people are frustrated. They're frustrated because they feel like the government can't do anything right. They can't execute on anything. And I think the difference here in my approach is they know that I'm a guy who knows how to enforce the law. I did it as U.S. attorney. I'm doing it as governor of New Jersey in very difficult circumstances with Democratic legislature. What they want is to have a detailed plan that they know someone can execute on and enforce, and I've had the history of doing that.
You mentioned birthright citizenship. Your position is what on it?
It's in the Constitution, and I don't think that we should be looking to change it. Now, what I said was, if we wanted to have comprehensive immigration reform, I'd be willing to listen to anything. But the truth of the matter is that's not something we should be being focused on. That's an applause line. The fact is, it's in the Constitution. Let's talk about the things that we can fix and fix simply without having to amend the Constitution, where we'll need, 2/3 of the Congress and 38 states to agree.
And after the last election, the Republican Party had a bit of a soul-searching moment. The Republican National Committee put together a report and said Republicans have to get behind comprehensive immigration reform. That's closer to your position on immigration, but it seems that the passion in the party is moving towards a more restrictive view on immigration. How do you see it?
I don't agree. I think the passion in the party is towards getting it right and getting it fixed. And I think that the frustration that people feel is to a Congress and a president, this president who refuses to enforce the law. I mean, I think the problem, John, is that people are just absolutely fed up with lawlessness in this country. They see the president only enforcing the laws he likes, not enforcing the laws that he doesn't like, not working with the states in a way that would make sure the laws are enforced. I'd be really clear on this. I think the frustration is that government's not working and not getting the job done. And the fact is, in New Jersey, we've been able to do this the right way, and that's why I won 51% of the Hispanic vote when I was reelected in 2013. Republicans can do this and can work with the Hispanic community to get things done and to get them to vote for us as well.
Hillary Clinton's had a lot of challenges with her email server. In responding to those attacks, she has blamed the press, she has blamed partisans, and she said, trust me on this, and when it's all through, you'll find out I was exonerated. A lot of that sounds like what you said during Bridgegate.
Yeah, except that I'm telling the truth and she's not.
The
fact is that this is a person who won't even answer the questions. Remember something. When Hillary Clinton goes out and gives an hour and 50-minute press conference with the National Press Corps where she takes every question, then she can talk to me. Because that's what I did the day after, right? The day after. And everything I said that day's proven to be true. Here's the problem with Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton won't answer any questions. Why did she have a private email server to begin with? And why was she doing all of her business over a private email server? John, I worked for the federal government for 7 years as the U.S. attorney. One of the rules they told you right in the beginning was do your business over the government server. That's what they told you to do so they could have the record of all that. She didn't do that.
She would say the other previous press secretaries of state had private accounts.
Well, they had private accounts in addition to their public accounts. She didn't have a public account. She never used it. I mean, this is what the Clintons do all the time, John. They try to divert attention. So you don't want to answer the question as to why you had a private email server? We know, John. You and I both know why. She wanted to keep what she was doing secret. She wanted to keep it from the public. She didn't want any record of it. And you know why the proof is she didn't want any record of it? Because as soon as she was out of office, she wiped the server clean. I mean, this is the kind of stuff.
Well, that's your interpretation. I mean, she says she only wiped the personal stuff.
Why else would you delete thousands and thousands of emails, John? Because you didn't want anybody to see it. Now, fact is that Mrs. Clinton never wants to answer the question, and so she tries to divert it to all kinds of other things. Here's going to be the problem come next fall when I'm her opponent. She's never been cross-examined by a prosecutor like me. And she'll be cross-examined by a prosecutor like me on the other side of the stage, and she won't be able to stand up to the scrutiny.
And Democrats and those supporting her have said, but Governor Christie had some missing texts.
Let me say this. We had 12 missing text messages that was sent to me by someone when we weren't under investigation and didn't even know what was going on. Mrs. Clinton deleted emails when she was under subpoena. You know, in my neck of the woods, we call that obstruction of justice.
But you've been talking about entitlement reform. What's it been like trying to get that in the conversation? What's the reception been?
People understand it and they get it. They want to be told the truth. They don't like it. They don't like the fact that the government promised them they'd keep money in a trust fund and then stole all the money and lied to them and told them there's a trust fund still there. But they're happy that there's finally a leader who's willing to stand up and say the government lied to you and stole from you. Now we have to fix it. The media is just not that interested in it because it's complicated. You know, it's more than like a 5-second answer. You know, so they get a little, you know, there's one question about entitlements in the entire debate 2 weeks ago, yet it's 71% of federal spending along with debt service. How could it be that we have one question in 2 hours on something that's consuming nearly 71% of the federal budget? But I'm going to keep talking about it because if you're going to be a leader, you got to do that.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.